Good morning, everyone. Looks like we're in New York City. We are in the borough of Manhattan. Right now we are on Christie Street. And we are walking north at around 7:30 in the morning. Temperature right now is 70 degrees. It is overcast. We do have a forecast of showers this morning. I don't know if we will end up in those showers, but I do not have an umbrella, so if that happens, it'll be quite interesting. Looks like I got a produce delivery over here. Where are we going to walk? Well, we're just going to keep walking in this direction. We are on, like I said, we're on Christie Street. Eventually it's going to turn into 2nd Avenue, so we're just going to stay on 2nd Avenue. I don't know when we'll probably turn or where we're going to end up, but we're going to... It doesn't matter when you're in New York City. It doesn't matter where you're walking. There's plenty to see on this walk at some point. I mean, we got everything. We got people going to work. We got traffic. We got a ton of architecture. So I was saying we have showers scheduled for this morning, and then I guess the sun is supposed to come out, and then this afternoon we actually have thunderstorms in the forecast. Now, I checked the models this morning, and I mean, right now I'm 50-50 if I'm gonna do any kind of storm walking today, if we do get storms, because right now it doesn't look like it'll be too impressive, but you know what, I've seen things change over the course of a few hours. So I'll give you an example of that. My most watched video on my channel, the thunderstorm walk, that day started out with the models pointing to very weak thunderstorms. And, well, that thunderstorm wound up being so strong that it dropped a microburst on Bay Ridge Parkway for about 3 blocks and knocked down every tree that was on that block. So, I mean, so that can, you know, That could happen today. You never know. Well, I'll be honest, it is not very hot out, so there's not a lot of energy that would really cause that type of a storm, but you never know. So this week has been nice. I mean, we had some 90-degree days last week, but it has been very nice this week. So temperatures have been in the 70s. It feels more like May. It is going to get, it is going to warm up again. It'll get back up into the high 80s, low 90s again, and then it's supposed to get cool. It's just up and down. It's been a nice late spring, early summer so far. So. Alright, this is the big intersection we got to get across. This is where Christie Street turns into 2nd Avenue. I'm thinking what we're going to do is change it up a bit. We get across the street. Well, unfortunately, there's 2 lights you got to wait for. Let me see if I could get across this without getting hit. At least one side. We're gonna Frogger it. Very dangerous to Frogger it on Houston Street. Here we go. Now we're gonna cross over here. And now we'll stay on this side for a while. I was down here over a year ago, and we were on the other side, so I give you guys this side this year. I mean, we did change back and forth, but this is where we started on. Well, we started on the other side, and we're going to start on this side today. So we just crossed that street that we just crossed. We just crossed East First, and we are on 2nd Avenue. So that's it. 2nd Avenue it is. Now, the thing about New York City, as you guys know, my favorite thing, obviously scaffolding. But the crossing these side streets is going to be a little bit of a a little bit of an annoyance. A little bit of an annoyance because the lights are constantly changing red and green, so we'll get stopped. Yeah, that's right here. I could see a 50-story high-rise getting put over here. eventually. Yes, we are on the Lower East Side right now, so you will definitely see a lot of grittiness. You will see homeless people laying on the street. So it's just comes with the territory down here. This will be one of those walks where I get quiet for stretches so you guys can enjoy the city ambience. Is it the ambience, the ambiance? I think there's only really two ways to say it. So far, so good with crossing these streets without having to stop. So, that might change when we get down to Midtown. We got a while to get down to Midtown. We're only on 7th Street right now. And as I'm recording this right now, live here on the camera, it's not live on YouTube, but in real time here, I haven't decided. I was going to cross this guy. And it looked like they were going to let me, but I didn't. As I'm recording this, I really don't know where we're going to end up, where we're going to end, so. Got those Amazon Prime bike truck things. going around. Some more scaffolding. We'll be seeing a lot of scaffolding on this walk. It's New York City. New York City is the home of scaffolding. Marinara. I'm gonna assume, well, it says it. It's a pizza place. I was just going to say it was an Italian restaurant, but it almost counts. Marinara. I wonder what kind of sauce they put on their pizza. Love Mama. Love Mama. Everyone loves Mama, right? We all love our mothers. Tompkins Square Bagels. Five Guys. I think what I'm gonna do, I was saying that I was talking to someone the other day. 12th Street Ale House. The other day I was talking. I think I'm gonna break. I'm going to break my Five Guys embargo for one day, because I am curious. I am curious to see how it tastes. It's been many years since I had a Five Guys burger with the fries. I'll tell you a story. We were a lot of people don't know this, but Bay Ridge, Brooklyn was the first place that ever opened up in New York, in the five boroughs. A lot of people don't know that. When it opens up right next to the Burger King in Bay Ridge on 5th Avenue. And a lot of people, including myself, was, what the hell is this? What's Five Guys? What is this? And it became a tradition for us. All the guys, we'd all go there like every Saturday night. It was kind of crazy. That was back when you could get the burger, the fries, and a drink. Get ready for this price for all you young people. Young people that don't, aren't old enough to remember when it first started, but when Five Guys first opened up on 5th Avenue in Bay Ridge over there, $11.50. $11.50 for the burger, the fries, and the soda, and don't forget the peanuts. Eating the peanuts while you're in line waiting for your food or sitting down. I used to grab a big scoop of peanuts and we'd be eating peanuts, waiting for the food to be ready. After that, Five Guys started popping up here in Manhattan. I want to say the first one I remember popping up in Manhattan is down on, and it's still there, I believe. It's down on it's in the 50s. It's on a side street. Can't remember exactly because it's been a long time, but I used to go there a lot. And then, I remember when the one on 3rd Avenue popped up, because I was working over at TIAA, which is over on 47th Street and 3rd, and the Five Guys opened up a couple of doors down from the old Muldoon's pub. We used to go to Muldoon's a lot. Muldoon's was a great Irish pub back in the day. It was a fatality of the lockdown, like many businesses. And then, the rest is history. The 5th Avenue one, it kind of sucked when it closed down. We were not expecting that. But at that point, the prices started going up at that point. It was after Hurricane Sandy when they opened up the Five Guys over at Caesars Bay. Many people might not know this, but Caesars Bay, if you're not old enough to remember, that whole space over there in Caesars Bay, Brooklyn, where you have the Vitamin Shop, the Five Guys, the Starbucks, which is next to the Wendy's, that building was a bank for many years, forever, until Sandy came in and did a lot of flood damage, and they wound up selling the building and putting multiple businesses in there. So I couldn't tell you the last time I had a Five Guys burger. I honestly don't remember. It had to be no later than 2018, because I remember an incident where I walked out because of the price. That was when the prices started going really high. Meanwhile, we are on 18th Street. At some point, we're gonna cross over to the other side. What is this person doing over here, going through the crosswalk? Is he parking? Or yeah, it looks like he's parking. I thought he was inching to go through the light. Coca-Cola truck. By the way, I don't know if you noticed on the Coca-Cola truck they had a FIFA. There is a big soccer tournament thing going on in the world here. It's Wednesday. Tomorrow it officially starts on Thursday. Today's Wednesday, June 10th. I don't know why I'm trying to speak over this cop car. Anyway, the World Cup officially starts tomorrow. I think it's just one match, and then everybody starts on Friday. And as you know, we are hosting the World Cup soccer, so you've got that. You've got a Knicks game. I believe tonight is game 4 for the Knicks. They are in the NBA Finals. They are up 2-1. So there's a lot of stuff going on in New York City here. And I'm going to take my first cross here. Do a first cross of 2nd Avenue. Look at that, guys. I told you at the beginning of the walk it was around 7:30 in the morning and 70 degrees, and the bus shelter here says 8:02, 70 degrees. The reason why I bring that up is I did not look at the weather app when I gave you guys the temperature. I guessed it. Honestly, hand to God, I guessed it. I felt the temperature on my skin, and I was like, you know what? It feels like 70 degrees. So there you go. That big truck did not stop for me. It stopped for the girl with the dog. I was going to go around the back. So... we've been doing pretty good keeping ourselves moving. I just remembered something every time I'm down here. Good pizza place, Rocky's Pizza. We're going to be passing by. Interestingly enough, I watched the last World Cup in there. They have a really nice seating area in the back of the pizza place. When you walk into Rocky's Pizza, you know, they got so many different toppings of pizza. It's a really good pizza place. And you don't notice it, but when you keep walking past the cash register, there's like this little hall area, I guess where the bathrooms are and stuff, and then it opens up. It's a really big dining area in the back. So I could imagine everyone's going to be in there watching the World Cup while they're eating pizza. East 26th. Got some high-rise apartment buildings here. Also, I don't know if any of you have noticed, I'm sure you have, but very subtly, there's a nice amount of trees on 2nd Avenue. I don't know if you guys notice, but every once in a while, you know, you see the way streets are, sidewalk is empty now. You'll see like large groups of people all together walking in a group, and probably wondering what's going on. You know, that's either a whole bunch of people got off the bus, which that was most likely the case there. Or you'll see a lot of people who just got off the train together and they're all in those groups. Like, I call them subway gaggles. This subway gaggles. The scaffolding on this block, by the way, has been here for years. I mean, it is so much scaffolding on this block for so many years. All right, we are about to enter the Midtown section. We started off Chinatown, Lower East Side. And we are now, we just passed 30th Street. There goes the very large AMC theaters here. They take up the entire block here. I've never been in this movie theater, to be honest. I don't think I have. The only two movie theaters I ever really go to here in New York City are, there's a one on 19th Street, I want to say that's on Broadway, and then the bigger one that's down past Columbus Circle. I think it's like in the late 60s or something, but you guys would know what I'm talking about. If you know New York City, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because everybody goes to those two theaters. They're actually very nice theaters. All right, I think we're finally going to get stopped at a light here. Oh, no, we're not. Look at that. we just keep moving. "33rd Street. This is where Rocky's Pizza is. We're gonna just walk right by it. So if you're in the city and you want a nice place to sit and eat pizza and watch the World Cup, this is a place I was telling you about. In the back, there is a big dining area. We're getting some good walk lights on the big intersections. This is 34th Street. We'll see if we get one on 42nd Street. I would show you the Empire State Building, but there's a bunch of trees. If I turn my camera, you're just gonna see trees. So. Is this where I call it the K building is? The K buildings looks like a K. Yeah. I'm gonna turn it right here. Look, the two towers down there. I just call that like a K building. It's kind of interesting the way they're connected with that small. Well, from here it looks small, but I'm sure that is a pretty big, spacey passageway, sky lobby or something. See a lot of kids going to school this morning. School is almost over. School is over here in New York City at the end of the year. Not the end of the year, duh. At the end of June is what I meant to say. Not at the end of the year. That would be really bad if these kids miss summer vacation. You know what? Let's get across. Let's change it up. All this traffic is getting into the tunnel there. That's the tunnel over there. That's why there's a lot of traffic over here. It's a tunnel entrance. I will show you guys. You can see, looks like you got some, this is the Holden area right here. You got New York State Trooper car over there. You got some tour buses coming out of the tunnel. And they're all coming out this street, so this is probably going to be a light we have to wait for. By the way, that was a straightway traffic lane that I just crossed. So there's a turning lane, which is what those cars are waiting for, and then there's a straight lane, and since there was no traffic, I decided to go across safely. At some point, I am going to turn. I have not decided where. We're not going to be doing a full 2nd Avenue walk. Thank you very much. This person is letting me cross. I thought they were going to cut me off. Starting to see the high skyscraper type buildings coming up as we get into the office area. The last job that I worked, my building, that building is not far from here. That building is located on 3rd Avenue. All right, now we're starting to get stopped by a lot of lights. So you have to look at these cars, see if they're going to turn. This guy's coming straight at me. I'm looking straight at him. They like to, hit the gas, and that's why I usually time. If I feel comfortable, I will take the cross in that sense. I knew someone was going to do that. That's why I had the camera pointed there. So you guys could see. I was actually looking in that direction. All right, we're coming up on 42nd Street. That girl almost just took me out. That's the one thing about New York City. In the morning, there are a lot of runners on the streets. By the way, this is where WPIX Channel 11 resides. If anybody ever wondered, there's the PIX 11 logo on the building there. That's where their studio is. You also have the Chrysler building and the Vanderbilt Tower up there. Now you're really starting to see everybody come into work now. It's almost 9 o'clock, so you're going to start to see a lot of people on the streets now.
It smells like work. I'm gonna explain that in a second. Let me just get across. I want to get across 2nd Avenue. I'm gonna explain that in a second. You guys are gonna find this. You guys are gonna find this as a quite interesting observation of mine. It smells like work. But by the way, there goes Grand Central up there. Is that still the MetLife building? I mean, I remember when I was a kid, it was. You know what? This is where we're gonna turn. Where are we? We're on 44th Street, so we're gonna turn here. So we're off 2nd Avenue now. And I will make the decision of where we're gonna end in a couple of minutes, but it smells like work. So in the morning when you're walking amongst all the people, and they all are wearing different colognes and perfumes, there's this just a mixed smell of fragrance in the air. You know, I just don't know how to explain it. If you're a city person like me and you've worked in a city for a long time, you know what I'm talking about. You could pretend that you don't, but you know what I'm talking about. I mean, it's just walking amongst people, all these different people wearing all these different scents and stuff, and it just mixes it. And I always used to say it smells like work, because when you're going to work, you're obviously amongst all these people that are also going to work. So you will not hear that anywhere else. You'll only hear something like that on Stride Warrior. So there you go. We are gonna walk man, I haven't decided where we're gonna end this. I'm looking at the time. I don't know yet. We're gonna walk to Columbus Circle. I just came out of my head just now, because I was talking about the movie theaters earlier, past Columbus Circle, and that's why I picked it. So we're gonna walk to Columbus Circle, which means we're gonna have to turn again eventually. Also, I'm gonna have to connect my battery at some point. I can see battery power is low. I am on my DJI Pocket 2. I am on the older camera, the better camera. Battery doesn't last as long as it used to, so that's why I bring the battery pack with me. But the difference is warm out. So if you remember this winter, every time I was using this camera in the winter, the battery, I always had to have the battery pack connected, because this weak battery just is no longer good in the cold weather, but in the warm weather it'll last. It'll definitely last over an hour. So. In cold weather, you have to have a charger plugged in within like 25 minutes. It's kind of crazy. The new camera that I have, the Pocket 3, the battery power on that is absolutely incredible. That's the one good thing about the camera. So it'll be interesting to see how it is this winter, because I bought that camera in the spring. So we'll have to wait for that. Wow, there's a lot of people over here. All right, I'm gonna see if I could. I'll just walk in the street. I will just walk in the street. let's go up. You know, I got an idea, guys. There's a comic book store that's been around a long time. I actually worked on this block back in the day. This is where Tia Creff is. TIAA over here. I'm trying to navigate around all these people. All right, let's go down this block. We got the light. Everybody just clogs the corner. If you're claustrophobic, you don't belong in New York City. Oh man, I just got right out of that vent right there. You see that vent? There's definitely a cafeteria in this building. Absolutely. Like a lot of these buildings have cafeterias. Every time I've worked in a building that has a cafeteria. You can smell hash browns. I mean, it's so strong. The strong hash browns coming out of these vents right now. Oh man, it smells so good. It's a Bobby Van Steakhouse right here. All right, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna walk. Nah, we're not gonna do Park Avenue. I want to save that for another day. So this is the Helmsley building over here. This is where everybody comes out of Grand Central. I'm waving him to go, by the way. He is not cutting in front of me. That's why he waved his hand at me. Guess he was saying thank you. If I see, like, that's pretty much the story of my life. If I see cars and they're trying to get through the crosswalk and I'm like the last one, I'll slow down and wave them through so they don't have to wait for me to go through. So Vanderbilt Avenue. All right, this turns into a side street walk because of all the traffic keeps forcing me to cross. So we're gonna turn here. All right, here we go. Let's look at this building here. One of the newest facings of New York City. By the way, we are on, we turn onto Madison Avenue, in case you're wondering. What we're going to do is we're going to try to stay on this down to 55th, and then we'll walk up 55th, and that's it. We'll stay on 55th and walk to Columbus Circle. Columbus Circle's over on 59th, so. All right, it is rush hour now, guys. You can tell it is rush hour. Everyone is coming into the city to go to work. Feel like I'm on a racetrack going around slow cars. I don't know why they were letting him go through. It's, you know, we have the light. Don't see that's one thing I don't like is when the light turns green and you're letting cars cut through you. You're just backing up the rest of the foot traffic. You have the right of way. Go through. Don't stop and let people through it like that. You know, it's not like the earlier incident where everyone went through and then you're the last person. Then that's when you do it. But when you're the first group of people going through a light, go through it. Don't stop. That is the New York Palace. All right, I'm gonna have to whip out the battery cable. We're over an hour. %, that's what it says. When I connected it, it gives me the battery number of what was left. So we still had 18% left. So. But a little fun fact about this camera will turn off at 10%. Think about that. And just now the cable came out. Hold on, I gotta reconnect it. It wasn't in firmly. try this again. There you go. That's better. Now, if you're wondering how much battery power is left on my battery, it's at 85%. It's been a while since I charged it. I did use it a couple times. It's a very good battery pack. It's called a U Green battery pack. Looks like a cell phone in my hand without a screen. .53rd, we're going to turn up 55th Street. I worked in this building right here. This building right on my left is Jeffrey's building. I worked in this building. They have a big chunk of the Berlin Wall in the lobby. That is true. I have pictures of it somewhere. They have a big chunk of the Berlin Wall in there on display for many years with all the graffiti on it and everything. It's pretty cool. And then there's another building I worked in coming up. It's Sony, the old Sony. I call it the old Sony building. It's still the Sony building from what I understand. I think. It used to be Sony BMG back in the day. Get a better look at all the people waiting across over here. I'm going to hug the curb here to get around these people. I'm in the lead. I'm in the lead. 55th Street. That's where we're going to turn. So this right here, that's the Sony building across the street. They have a really nice atrium in here. This is where the atrium is. Oh, it's opens up now. I never knew they did this. I remember they were doing all this construction. So this used to be enclosed. It's now all opened up. Look at that. It looks way different in here. Wow. It looks totally different in here. Like this area was never around. This used to be like the Sony, I forget what they used to call it. Interactive Center. Wow, it just totally looks different. I actually have pictures of, they had right there, so if you're looking here, if you could kind of imagine, it was like in a glass case, and they had the old Spider-Man Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade balloon draped down. I have a picture of that too, somewhere. And, yeah, it looked really different. I haven't been through there in years, so that was a surprise. It's all opened up now. I remember when they closed it down and they were doing the construction back, I want to say around 2019. So, by the way, Trump Tower. That's why I have all this police barriers and stuff. It's like a Secret Service checkpoint down here. I don't think you could... This block is closed to traffic, as you could see. All right, we are officially on 5th Avenue. We are going to Columbus Circle. I want to stay on, well, we were supposed to stay on 55th. We're on 56 now, so we'll just stay on this block. The sounds of New York City. Traffic, construction, people. Famous people. I've had people that have watched my channel tell me that I walked by somebody famous and they didn't even know it. But yeah, I don't really pay attention to that stuff. I'm just trying to navigate and try to get through the streets as quick as possible. So kind of gotten a little quiet. Now I'm walking around with a battery pack in one hand and a camera in the other, but this is New York City, so people are not looking at me like I'm crazy because they probably think I'm a tourist. So either that or they think I'm like a news reporter or something. So I'm gonna miss the light on 6th Avenue, so we're gonna keep moving. So we're gonna turn again. So I guess the route's gonna zigzag up to Columbus Circle because I want to keep moving. So I don't want to be stopping at lights at every corner here. See, all these people just got off the train. There is a train station over here on, this is the 57th Street train station over here. Right here, this train station is probably where all those people just came out of. All right, we're walking on 6th Avenue, and we're already done. And now we're gonna, on 6th Avenue, we're gonna walk up 57th Street now. All right, so we're on 57th Street, so there's a chance we're going to turn again if there's a light up there we got to wait for. I want to thank everybody who was tagged along on this walk. We are walking an hour and 15 minutes. We are going to end it at Columbus Circle. I would say by the time, I don't have anything, I'm not tracking my miles, but based on the time and when we're gonna finish, I would say we easily walked 5 miles this morning. Possibly 6, because I walked this was a really quick pace, so it wasn't the normal pace that I walk when I do the 6-mile walk, which usually comes out to about 1 hour and 40 minutes. So I'd say we clocked in anywhere between 5 and 6 miles on this walk. So. We'll take the Mid-Street crosswalk. This is the Mid-Street crosswalk in the middle of 57th Street. We got about a few more blocks to end the walk. We got 7th Avenue, 8th Avenue, and then over to 59th Street. Carnegie Hall. I don't know if you guys saw that. That girl, we almost met. Let's just say that much. We almost collided. Looks like I got to turn because there is a light. I am recording this on June 10th, so you are probably watching this as it was uploaded in the same day. Lately, I've been breaking my schedule. I've been uploading my videos and having them start around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and I've been getting pretty good viewership numbers. I will stay in the street here. I've been getting some pretty good viewership numbers, and what's been good about that is I've been able to that is a Amazon truck coming right at me. Look at this little Amazon thing. But anyway, like I was saying, I've been able to get some good numbers by uploading on the same day in the afternoon. So, speaking of those, by the way, it's raining right now. It's drizzling lightly. Right at the end of the walk, right at the right time, because we're going to have to end this. Engine 23 Firehouse. I was going to say, if you saw that, it's beautiful. Probably some movie stars in there right now. I mean, we are working by the Nordstrom Tower, so. I was going to say that Amazon truck, those Amazon bike trucks you've been seeing. They probably got that idea from all of the tourist buggies. They're like, well, wait a minute, we could build something like that and put boxes in it. All right, I am going to disconnect the battery pack because we're almost where we need to be. We're going to turn the corner here, and Columbus Circle is right there, guys. Look at that. We are at the end of the walk. I guess this is a good place to end it. For the main reason is, number one, I can stop inside the mall over there and relieve myself, go to the bathroom, and then get on the train right downstairs to go back home. So I want to thank everybody that has tagged along. We clocked in at 80 minutes. Nice walk. We started on Christie Street in Chinatown. We walked the Lower East Side along 2nd Avenue. And then eventually we started doing side streets, and we've made our way here. There we go. This is where we're ending it. So I want to thank everybody for tagging along. And I will catch you all on the next one, wherever that's going to be. Okay, so take care, and bye-bye.